And we are live.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. So today we'll be talking about Google Drive, introduction to Google Drive, and we'll have our teacher, most trusted, go through it with us this evening. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So today we'll be talking about Google Drive. And as we all know, that Google Drive is this cloud platform in which it's like a cloud storage platform in which we can store our files, and it helps us so that our file can be, let me say, easily accessible, unlike when we are storing files on local storage and the likes. So now today we are just going to talk about Google Drive, and we are going to talk about some basic functions of Google Drive, so how to arrange your folder, how to open your file, how to set permission in Google Drive, um, how to use the offline access, how to arrange your display to make your drive more better. So now what we'll be doing now is like uh, what we'll be doing now is this. Like this is our Google page, and I told us that to access most of these Google apps, we just come to the application tab over here, and we scroll down to Google Drive. We go scroll to the drive, then we can open the drive. Now, if you are logged into your Google account, automatically it brings you here. And if you go to the address bar, you can just type drive.google.com. Then you can see something like this too. It takes you directly to your Google Drive. And if we check the left panel, if we check the left navigation here, we see new. That is when you are creating new items, when you want to create new items, when you want to include new items in your drive. So if you click on the new, you see something like folder. You maybe you want to create a folder. If you see file, that means you want to upload a file in your Google Drive. If you see file folder upload, that means you want to upload the folder, and we are still going to talk about that. Then if you go to docs, sheets, slides, and forms, you also see that means you are creating a new document, sheet, or forms. Now, after that, you underneath it, you see my drive. Under this drive, you see everything that is there. Now, if you check the right the right column here, you notice that after clicking on the drive, it gives you various minor items that are on your drive. Now, if you see here, these are so just some suggested items that probably you wanted to open or you wanted to work on. And we have the folders that are on your drive, because I've already created a folder and I have some files here in which I've not put inside any folder. Now, so after this, we have this shared with me. When you say, or when you go to share with me, that is underneath this shared with me, you see files that other probably other collaborators of yours have shared with you, other people that you are working together, or anybody that might want you to access some of their files, they've shared with you. So when you go to this share with me, you see every file that has been shared with you. Then you can go to your recent, probably when you recently work on items, so it will itemize it according to how recent those files are, how recent you worked on them. Then your start message, those are the messages that, or those are the files that you feel like they are so important, and you can't go through the stress of navigation, just navigating all through to get your files. So you just have to start them so that it will be easier. The access will be easy now. And the trash is for all your files that you deleted. One thing about the drive is immediately you delete a file, the file does not permanently leave your drive. The file is moved to the trash. Now, after the file is moved to the trash, it can stay there for like 30 days. Then after 30 days, it will be completely wiped away from your drive. Now, if you notice here, you see the storage. Now, for every Google user, every Google account user, you have this 15 gigabyte storage. But for somebody that might possibly be using more, because one thing about this drive is, like we already said, it's a cloud storage, it's a storage where we store our data. Now, it's possible that you want to, just like your phone, at times when we want to buy phone or even laptops, we say we need one with higher memory, higher storage capacity. Now, also you might want to get more than this 15 gigabyte, because I want us to know that every of the files, everything that we are doing on Google is related to this drive, because it's somehow connected to this drive, because all your work that will be done, be it on Sheet, be it on Docs, be it on Slides and Classroom, anyone, they will be on this drive. So now, what you can do is, if you think that this 15 gigabyte will not be enough for you, you can buy the storage. And storage is, the price for the storage is listed on the Google website. So you can just check that out if you're interested in buying. So now, so the first thing that we'll be talking about here now is just how to open your file. Now, if you're opening your file, immediately you come over here in My Drive, you will notice that you see the suggested file and folders. So probably you just have a file you want to open. You can just click on the file. You can just come over here and click on the file, and you see your file will be opened. So now, also, for at times, there are sometimes that you want to work on a file, but you want to make a copy of that file so that you don't affect the original file. Maybe you have a template and you want to edit a template, so you don't want to modify the template. You don't want to make changes to the original template, but you just want to modify it to have your own copy. So also, go on your Google Drive, you can make modifications to your files. So there are two ways in which you can do that. Now, the first way is, if you open your file here, like we've opened this Physiologists-in-Tech, you can come over to the file section here, then you say make a copy. Now, if you say make a copy, it asks you entire slide, entire presentation or selected slide. So because this is a slide, if you are working on Sheets, it might bring another option. So you select, probably you want to make a copy for the entire presentation. So it asks you, what is the name of the file presentation or the new file? So I just say it's a copy of Physiology in Tech, and you come here to make a copy. So automatically you notice that you already have a copy. Now, if you can check over here, you see that the file has been renamed to copy of Physiology in Text. If you check here, we have the normal file, the Physiologist in Tech, while here we have our copy. So when you are working on files that you feel like, oh, I have a template and I don't want anything to affect the template, but I want to work on that template, you can just make a copy of your file. Now, if you go back to your drive, uh, probably you have a file that you think you don't need. Let me just say, yeah, I think I don't need this file. Now, what can you do to the file is, you can remove, now we said we only have 15 gigabytes, and it's advisable that we don't just keep unnecessary file in our drive. It's so advisable we don't keep unnecessary file there, because if we start keeping files that are not relevant, the first thing is, it makes our drive to be less organized, and it might make sorting of your normal file difficult, and also it takes memory, because when you start keeping files that you don't need, it can consume memory. So you can just select your file and you come over here, then you delete. So now, if you notice the notification here, it says file moved to trash. Like I said earlier, that anything you delete on your Google Drive is not permanently deleted until after 30 days. Now, it has been moved to file trash. Now, if you see the untitled documents here, they are moved to trash. So now I've deleted them over here. So it's possible that you want to delete them permanently, you want to delete them forever. You can come over here to delete, to empty the trash here. Like if you delete it, I will say delete forever. But now, assuming you mistakenly delete a file, you deleted a file mistakenly, or you deleted a file and you now later felt like, okay, I still need this file. You can just come over to your trash and come over here to restore. You restore it. Then if you go back to your drive, you will realize that the file is back there. So now the file is back there. Also, for you to have files on your Google Drive, I told us the other time that all our Google apps are connected in one way to this drive. Now, it's possible that when you are working on your Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Slide, immediately you start your presentation, immediately you create a file, it has already been stored on the drive. But now, what if you want to upload some stuff or some files from your computer? You can just come over here, the new icon, then you say file upload. You click on the file upload. Now, it asks you, what file do you want to upload? So you navigate to the file you want to upload. So let's just say I'm uploading the Lakefront community logo. Then you just say open, and it uploads the file. So as you can see here, the Lakefront community file logo file is already on our drive. So with that, we can upload our file. Now also, we are not only restricted to uploading files, we can also upload folders, because now if you come over to the new, you see underneath here that we have folder upload to. You can just say, okay, this is the folder I'm uploading physiologist. So you will select the folder and you click upload. Now, it asks you, it prompts you just, if you trust the file, then I say, yes, I trust the folder. Then it begins to upload. So immediately it's done. As you can see now, upload is complete. If you can check over here, we have our physiologist folder. Also, you might want to create a folder in your drive, because as you can see over here, I already have a folder. This is my classroom folder. It's linked to my Google Class. We have the collab notebooks, we have the documents, the forms, images, presentation, and everything. Now, let me say it's not advisable when you just have your file, when you just have your file scattered. It's the best practice for you to try as much as possible to arrange your files in folders, so that the sorting will be easy and accessibility will be easy. Because when you just say, okay, when I have probably I have some works I'm doing on Google Docs, I have some I'm doing on Google Sheets, I have some I'm doing on images, I have some archives on music, I have some videos. It will not be advisable for me to just keep everything in the home page of my drive. So it will be advisable that I just create a kind of folder for them, so that I can sectionize, I can arrange my work. So you can come over to the new and you say new folder. Then it asks you, what is the name of the new folder? I can just say this should be files. Then I create the name file, then you click on create. So automatically files is here. So for you to put or for you to take files into your or for you to make take your files to the files folder, there are two ways. You can just use the drag and drop method by clicking on the file, then you drag it over to the folder, then it will go there. Because if you check now, You already have it here. Or you can come back here, then you click on the file, you come to the three dots here, then you say move to. Then it asks you, where are you moving this file to? I can just select a folder. I'm moving it to files. Then I say move. So if I check it also, the file is already there. So at times you might have a file here and you feel like, okay, I don't think this file belongs here. You can also use the same technique and say move to, then I think this should belong to the images section. So I can just go back and look for image folder and click the image and say move. So if I go back to my drive and I check under my images, the left front is already there. Now, so also, as you can see, the on my display here, I have this kind of display that is named grid, because in Google Drive, there are two types of display that you can use. It's either you use the grid display or you use the list display. Like this is the grid display. And if you want to change your display, you can just come over here, then you can change it to a list view. So if you can notice, here the folders are listed. Now, if I should open the file here, you realize how these images are here, are displayed here. They are listed. It shows, okay, the owner, the modifier, the everything. Or I can just put it in a grid view for me to have a better view of, or for me to have a better view of what I'm doing. You can just put it like this, then you see this is the grid view. So it depends on how or what you want to do with it, or your preference of view. Now, another thing about this drive is the file information. Now, when you have your drive, it's one thing about Google Drive is it helps us. It gives us this. It helps us to track every activities that happens in our file. So now, when I click this file, you can just come over to here and say view details. Now, if you view the details of a file, now let us check here. If you view the details of this file, it just give you, it can show a little preview of the file. Then it gives you the information of who are the people that has access to this file. So you can see the numbers of people that have access to your file. Then also you can see the type of file that it is. You can see its size. You can see the location that the file is, and also you can see the owner of the file. So also you can see the date that it was modified, that is the last time it was modified and by whom it was modified. Now, it's possible that when you are working in, probably you are doing a collaboratory work in which you've given maybe 10, or let's just say 3 people. You're giving 3 people the ability to edit your file. So with this, you will be able to know when last an editor make changes to the file, and also what was the changes that was made there. And you can know, track the details and everything. Now you can also come over to the activity. Now with the activity, you will be able to look at everything that has happened to this file and how it happened. Now, if you see here, it said you moved this to presentation, and if you click on it, you can go to more detailed, you can open a more detailed view of it, and you see everything about the activity that was performed on the file. So with that, you can be able to track the activities of those that you've checked, or those that you've shared the file with. Now, moving forward, we can also set permissions for our file, probably when we are sharing, because now I've created this file. You've created your file and you want to make it accessible. Probably you created the material and you want to make it accessible to others. So what thing you can just do is you can just come over here, you click on the file, then you select share. So if you select the share button here, it loads, it asks you who are the people that you want to share the file with. So you can just select a name of the person. Now, after selecting the name, you can just say, okay, I want the person to be either a viewer, that is, the person will only have the permission to view my files. Also, I can just say I want the person to be a commenter, that is, the person will only have the permission to comment on the file. He can view, he can also comment, but it can never, the individual can never make modifications to the file. Also, you can just say an editor. So if you select the editor, that means the person will be able to edit the file. So they can make changes to your file. They can correct, they can do anything they like to the file. Now, so also you can also share the file link. Now, if you share the file link, there are things you have to know. Now, if you copy the link here now, if you see here, it reads that it is restricted. Now, it said restricted. Only people added can open this link. That is, only people that I add here will be able to open the link. I can change the permission to change to anyone with this link. So if I change it to anyone with this link, it can tell automatically if I copy this link and I send it through mail, post it on WhatsApp or post it anywhere, anybody that has the link will be able to access the file. Now, it now has that anyone with the link, what do you want to it to be the role of those people with the link? Should they be viewer, commenter, or editor? Now, I would rather advise that when you make it open like this, you don't give the permission of an editor to it, because if you say anyone with the link, that means anyone can just access the link. Even people that you never expected that they can have the access, they can eventually have the access to the link. And when they have the access to the link, there are some people that they don't even know what they are doing. They can just edit and delete some files there or just make modifications that are not necessary. So you can just say anyone with the link should be viewers. I think that is the best. Probably you have some resources you want to share with them. You can just make them viewers to view those files, or you can just say they should be a commenter. But in most cases, if you are sharing if you are making your link to be public, it's advisable you just leave it for them to be viewers. Now, now, so if I should open this file, so this is the file, and I just feel like I want to download this file on my local machine. I can come over here. So you come here and you say download. So when you download, Google Slides, we already said it that it's like all this Microsoft PowerPoint 2. It's just like it's a slide editor. You use it to edit, modify, present for presentation. Now, it's possible that you want to download this file as a PowerPoint so that when you are working on it offline, you can also open it in the Microsoft PowerPoint. Also, you can download it as a PDF file. You can download this as JPG and the likes. So it's all about your choice, the way you want to download it. Now, you can also send it to an email. So you can say email this file, then it's just like the normal share. So it say you select the person you are emailing the file to, then the subject. If you remember when we are creating our Google Gmail, we spoke about the subject, that it is very much necessary to give your mail a subject, so that it's the first thing that points the viewer or the recipient to whatever it is that the message or the content of the mail is. So when you are sending a mail, you make sure that the Subject is that which can summarize. Let me use that time that can summarize the whole content of your message. So now you just say, okay, subject is copy of physiologies in tech. Then you can just write a message. Um, I am sending you this copy for review. So I'm sending this copy for review. Then how do I want it to be sent? Like we said, this is a slide document. I can send it like as a PDF, or I can send it as a plain text, or I can send it as PowerPoint. Then I can just click send. So immediately you send it, the message will be sent. The mail or this whole file will be sent to that person that you input his or her mail. So now going back to our slide, we also can assign ownership. Now we can assign our file. We can make it okay. We might want to change the owner. Okay, who owns this file? Who is the person that owns the file and everything? So as you can see over here now, it says, okay, I'm the owner. But let me just say, let me just select, let me just select somebody. Then I can just share the file with the person here, or sorry, where is the details? So I can just come here. Okay, this file is not yet shared. So if I should add some people to this, what are they? Or if I should add some people here, should be able to assign ownership to them, so that probably when you are working, let me just say, I worked on a file. I worked on a file, and I want to I want to make sure that that file, uh, I don't, maybe I want to change the permission that, okay, I should not be the only person that that owns the file. I can change the ownership of the file to another person, so that that other person will be the owner of the file. And we can also make our file to be available offline. When you are making your file available offline, one thing you first have to do is just to have the Google extension in your browser. You have to have the Google extension for Google Docs offline. So if you go to your, it depends on the browser you are using, either Chrome or Mozilla, or you are using Microsoft Edge. You can just go to your the place that you are having your file extension, and you can just say, okay, I need Microsoft and the Google Docs offline. So immediately you install that extension and you enable it, you can come over to your file and you just give it the available offline option. So immediately you make it available offline, that means a copy of the file can be available offline, so that you'll be able to work on your file when you don't even have the access to online or internet facility. So also you might possibly want to publish the file. So like if you go back to your presentation and you go to your file over here, you can just say publish to web. Now, if you are publishing to web, maybe you have a website and you want to display all your files on the website, you can just say, okay, I will publish this to web. And there are two ways in which you can publish it to web. You can you can embed it. That is, if you embed it in your website, you make it to look something like it will be displayed inside your website, or you can make it to be a link. You can just make it to be a link. Now, one thing after, if you embed it, because this is a slide and it deals with presentation and slideshow, you can just make this, you can just change the file, the size. Then when do you want the slide to auto advance? So you can say every 3 seconds, every 2 seconds, or your choice. Then also you can say start slideshow as soon as the player loads, or restart the slideshow after the last slide. So after that, you can just publish it. Then you input the website. Okay, this is the link. This is the link now. So if you copy this link and you paste it to your website, it will be embedded inside your website. So, but we don't have a website to work with for now, so we will not be embedding it here for now. So also, when you are working in your slide, now I have, let me go back to my drive. I have list of items here. Now, it's possible that you want to quickly search your file. Now, if you come over here, you can search it by the keyword, the name of the file, maybe physiologist. So we see you can search it by your slide here, or you can apply filter. Maybe you are searching for an image and you don't know the name. You can just come over here and just say, I want to search by the file type. Then you come over here, you can just say, I will search by I want to search images, photos and images. Then you click search. So it applies the filter here that these are the photos. These are the photos of all the photos that are on your drive, or you might want to give it. You might want to give another. Uh, you might want to search presentations. So these are the presentations. You might want to search for. You might want to use another thing without searching the type. You can just search for owner, files that are owned by me, files that are not owned by me, or files that are owned by a specific person, and you input the email for the person. Also, you can say the file that has a particular keyword. So what are the keywords? Maybe in our the file that has something like physiology, the file that has something like tech, the file that has something like anything. Or you can just search the exact name. Then location, you can search for in your trash, in the start, in the encrypted, and the likes. So that is how you make your search in your Google Drive. So basically, everything about this drive is because there's we don't really have much, but everything about this drive is just that this drive is your storage, is the storage that you use. And this drive, with this drive, you are able to store your file and you are able to access it online. And one good thing about this drive is you can also share your file easily with others. So it's possible that you can just share your file easily. You make people collaborate with you. They work, or you can work together on a particular file. Then you have your result, and you can make like we said, we can just access it anywhere. Not only you, but for other people that has the permission to access your file. So this will be everything we'll be discussing. And if you think you need more storage, like I said, you can choose to buy your storage with Google. And this will be everything we'll be discussing on Google Drive for now. So thank you very much.